Let's move on to the auto industry. Volkswagen and Ford are teaming up on electric and self-driving car technology as the industry races to embrace innovation. VW is going to invest $2.6 billion in Argo AI. It's the Ford-supported autonomous vehicle platform, and it values Argo at $7 billion. Joining us now from Detroit is Jim Farley, Ford's president of new business technology and strategy for that Volkswagen-Ford alliance. Thank you so much for joining us, Jim. So first of all, I'd like to ask you, why team up at all? Why?
Good to be here, Julie.
Thanks for joining us. So why go to another automaker and do this kind of partnership? Why not go it with Argo alone?
Well, the calls on capital to develop commercial deployment of automated vehicles in large scale is enormous. It's billions. So this allows us to work with Volkswagen. Their home market is in Europe, so it allows us to expand into Europe in terms of our self-driving ambition. But most of all, it allows us to reduce the risk of capital deployment to such an enormous new and exciting area. We also get some new capability. Volkswagen has an AID team in Munich that's been working on the self-driving opportunity for a while, so we get that IP in tech, or at least Argo does, as part of this deal.
Jim, good to have you here. I want to take this a bit further from Julie's question, because we've seen these kinds of partnership between global auto manufacturers and U.S. auto manufacturers in the past. You're going to be tying up with Volkswagen, autonomous and electric vehicle. Is this the first step toward a potential merger at some point down the road? Or why would that be either good or bad for Ford to do a complete merger with VW?
Thanks, Adam. So we have no intention to merger. We're not cross-holding any stakes in the company. This is a very different alliance. When we looked at our strategy towards partnership, because of all these new calls of capital, including the traditional auto business and the investment in electrification, we learned that you got to pick the right projects, and you have to have balance in the partnership. When we haven't had that, it has not worked for Ford in the past. So these are really specific projects. It's an alliance of specific opportunistic projects. We already announced very large-scale cooperation with Volkswagen on commercial vehicles in Europe and South America. We're extending that today with the electrification announcement and Argo. But this is not a merger. It's an alliance of specific projects being opportunistic.
So on these specific projects then, tell us about them, and from a consumer perspective, what are they and when can we expect them?
So it's really exciting because Argo is an American company. It's Pittsburgh. Volkswagen literally kicked the tires on every self-driving company in the globe. They were very disciplined. And after all that analysis, they picked Argo AI as their partner to develop the self-driving part of the business. The other piece of the self-driving is the business itself that's separate from the tech of driving the vehicle by itself. And we're going to do that separately. So Volkswagen and us will compete in the market separately on the business side, but the driving system, the tech itself, we will spend money together in developing. We also announced an electric vehicle in Europe because Volkswagen has made a huge bet in electrification, especially in Europe. They have very large scale there. We're limiting our passenger car market in Europe. We're really betting on commercial vehicles there. And this allows us to use Volkswagen's scale, but develop a top hat or the customer-facing piece to be completely unique from Volkswagen. So what we're doing is investing in parts where the customers don't really care, and investing independently where we will be different and compete in the market.
Yeah, Jim, I personally haven't forgiven you yet for getting rid of the Fusion, but I am excited about the products Ford is going to be bringing to market. And how does the joint venture, I guess you'd call it, or the teaming up with VW on its electric platform play in any way to the investment Ford has in Rivian? Because the world is going electric. It might even be more electric than it will be autonomous. So does this play into it, and if so, how?
What a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. Our high volume local market is North America. Most of the vehicles that we're investing in for electric, like our new Mustang-inspired SUV, will be bigger vehicles than in Europe or South America or even in China. So in the US, we have enough scale to be fully competitive, and that battery is really expensive. So to keep the EV, the battery electric vehicle, affordable for customers, scale is really important. We have that in North America with our own brand, but in Europe, where we're limiting our passenger car lineup, like we've done in the US with Fusion, VW gives us a scale and cost competitiveness, but we can still create a vehicle on top of that, where the customers love and are emotional about, that's unique to our brand. Rivian is yet another manifestation of our $11 billion investment in electrification. Look, we're trying to be smart by having local scale so we can get the cost down for customers so the adoption will go faster, but still have unique executions towards the customer. For example, in addition to the Rivian investment, which over time will do a vehicle, is the F-150 electric vehicle. It's our highest volume, most profitable vehicle for the company, and we're going to go electric on F-150 for some of our commercial customers. So we'll have a high volume dedicated electric Ford platform for the US and for export. We'll have the investment in Rivian for the specific vehicle there. We'll do the F-150 electric, which is really working with the internal combustion platform, and even Volkswagen. We're trying to be smart about deploying our capital in this new area where we're not sure how fast adoption will go, to be as efficient as we can.
All right, Jim, thank you so much for being here. Jim Farley is Ford President of New Business Technology and Strategy for the Ford VW Alliance, and obviously an important new movement in that alliance today. Thanks.